I will start off by saying this has been a really, really good spring for us. Really good when we get a chance to come out fairly healthy, number one. I thought our players really had a really good approach to the spring season right off the jump from day one. And it started back in December, quite honestly, just implementing a lot of guys into our program and, making sure that at the front door, bringing some of our newcomers in, challenging them, making sure they understood what they were getting to. If they chose Temple, understanding what they represent, and they never wavered on that, not one bit. They came in and we've had not many discipline issues. Guys were going to class on times. Socially, we had no issues. Guys were making the right decisions socially, and really trying to engage with the student body here on campus outside of football. It's been really, really fun to watch that. Academically, they're doing great. And I think that's all, how you do anything is how you do everything. I think that's a good sign for the direction that this football team is going in right now. I'll tell you what, just like to thank all of our Temple fans and family, alum, boosters, everything associated with Temple that showed out here today. Rich Bird brought up a good point. I got so locked into practice and really didn't get a chance to look around and see, the former players, the families, former players bringing their kids back to Temple to see a cherry and white spring game. Just a clear indication of what this place is all about, and I'm so proud to be a part of this university and everything it stands for. You bleed cherry white forever once you put it on. It's just one of those places, and I'm just so grateful to be here. Our players are grateful for their opportunity that they're having right now, and it's just a good feeling around the building right now. So with all that being said, what questions you guys have for me?
Seemed like the defense got a little better of the offense today, maybe. And I wonder if is that, and did it trend that way this spring?
Well, it's been up and down. That's the beauty of it. There's been days where the offense has completely dominated the practice, and there's been days where the defense has dominated the practice, and there's been days where it's been a stalemate. Today was a defensive day for sure. Those guys came out ready to play. They're responding to a Tuesday where the offense kind of got the best of them, And that's the thing that's been neat is the response, right? When they have a bad day or an off day, the next day normally there's been the positive response, the right response to those situations. So no, it's been an up and down deal. I think that's a great indication of how the depth that we have on our football team being built up. We've got some quality depth there in the trenches on both sides of the ball, especially offense and defensive line, which is the thing that I'm excited about. And we got some guys that are coming in that we're expecting to have an impact on this football team. So it's fun. We still have a long way to go in regards to that. As we get into the third quarter of our development, which is all about, coming closer as a football team. It's about family. Right now I think there's a lot of friends. I want to make sure that they're brothers. It's a big difference there, right? I don't need them to be friends. I need them to, put themselves in a position where they feel comfortable and courageous enough to hold each other accountable. That's what families do. Good families do that. And there's a lot of guys that are stepping up in those leadership roles that we're starting to see. Not ready to anoint them yet, but the fact that I'm seeing kids receive accountability from another player the right way is also another good sign for the direction that we're going in right now.
Coach, with so many new guys in, do you feel any differences in this program compared to last year?
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I do. The number one difference is obviously we got 43 newcomers on this football team. So that there is the natural difference. You're just dealing with different personalities, different body types, a lot of different whys within each individual. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the challenge of a football team. You want them to, as individuals, have big hopes and dreams for themselves. You want them to have a certain standard that they set for themselves. But for us as a football team, we need those guys to be able to blend all their selfish wants into one purpose. And that's what's critical about this next phase that we're getting ready to get into. The intentionality is really there. That's something that has elevated from a year ago, and we'll know in time when the season comes what type of team we are. But the approach has been phenomenal. We've had little to no things that were distractions or anchors that were holding us back in our development this spring. So for that, it's definitely the best spring that I've been a part of since I've been here at Temple. We'll see what that looks like in terms of wins and losses.
I mean, you lost so much in terms of leadership last offseason. Do you feel some guys stepping up in the locker room, and who stands out to you in that way?
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of this place. It's got the tradition of the single digits being a great example to follow when trying to be a leader in this program. Although we've lost a lot, and we're very grateful for the time that they put in, the effort that they put in for this university and this program, but we've recruited some natural leaders, we really have, and they're just waiting their time. They're trying to earn it the right way, which is very, very special when you see individuals that have that kind of social awareness about themselves and understanding their role on this football team. But we have quite a few leaders that are already drinking the water, so I'm just waiting to see them emerge.
Stan, do you think sitting here today, do you have 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks who are ready for Friday Night Lights, Norman, Oklahoma?
I don't know if our quarterbacks are ready for that yet. I don't know if I'm ready to say that they're ready for that yet. I think in their mind, what we've learned through their actions, there's not a whole lot of flinching that goes on in their approach. There are days where, a couple of weeks actually, where we had the quarterbacks live and they handled the pressure well. I just think that the development still needs to take place in regards to them taking command of the offense. This is not, a super simple offense, although it's an offense that will mold to the skill set that they will bring to the table. Just like when EJ took over a year ago, right? We had to completely flip the offense to a totally different style of play, but I think that these quarterbacks have embraced competition. That's the deal, right? It's hard to create competition in today's climate. People tend to run away from it. Young people tend to run away from competition. Our quarterbacks are embracing it, so I won't take their development for granted. I won't underestimate how far, how high their ceilings are, and we're just going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see who emerges and claims the position, but I think we've got a group of guys that are working in the right direction, and they're all showing potential.
Going to special teams, new kicker Carl Harden, he was showing off his leg today, going 3 for 3, I think. How does that make you feel going into the season that you can be possibly comfortable with a long field goal in a tough situation?
When you have a kicker that can make 3 for 3, is what you said, right? I didn't count them, right? So 3 for 3, and I think the wind gust was somewhere like 30 miles an hour out there. I'll take that, and plus it equates the points, right? Yeah, we need to score some points, and if we got a kicker that can, finish off a drive with points on the board, we're going to take that all day. So he's definitely been a guy who has always been ice in the veins. He really is. He's just one of those guys who stands at about 5'8" and just walks around like he's 6'2" or something. He's a really poised kicker that way. He's got some competition coming in though, so we'll see how that turns out.
Stan, was the plan always today to have that second portion be injury-free? Because you mentioned that you wanted to get your guys out of here.
Yeah, I had to get them the hell out of there. It's been a very physical camp leading up to this, and last Thursday was probably their most physical practice. That was like the real scrimmage. And today was just a matter of going out there, eliminating assignments, try to play as clean as possible, which I thought we could have did a better job of that. A lot of yellow laundry on the field out there today. A lot of penalties. We got to clean some things up that way. They've been good leading up till today, but today, with the officials out there, it was good to really see that was really a hold. You're thinking you're not holding, but that's really a hold, and sometimes they don't believe you until you put on a black and white shirt. But no, we got some things we got to clean up in that respect, but definitely happy where we're going.
Any update on the guard?
Not yet. We'll see what that is. We know that it's a little bit of an arm injury. That kid's had a really tough go with some setbacks like that, but he's got the right mindset, and we're hoping that this is a minor setback.
Coach, I wanted to ask about Ian. Obviously, he was out there but not playing as much today. Can you just talk about, even just mentally, how he's been taking all these injuries the last couple of years, and he seemed just talking a moments ago very positive, and you keeping a single digit on him, just talking about what he means to you guys.
Well, that's you know, when you put that single digit on, there's an obligation. All right, you have an obligation to be an example of how you deal with adversity. All right, otherwise, if you struggle with adversity, you're not a single digit. Single digits attack adversity. You know, they understand that their role is going to be tough, and for Ian, his role has been tough due to injuries. You know, and we're dealing with a minor setback. You know, last year was a lot more of a major setback, so we just have a minor setback that just took place earlier in the week. He's going to be fine. He knows he's going to be fine. He also understands that there's a receiver group that needs to elevate their level of play, and he's responsible for providing the type of example for work ethic and preparation of how to get to a certain standard of play that we're trying to get to in that room. So he doesn't really have time to feel sorry for himself. You know, as a single digit, you have to give all that emotion and energy to your teammates in a positive way, and that's something that he does a great job of.
Was there any position group that you think stood out today?
I'll have to say the D-line. You know, I mean, they you know, let a couple of runs skirt out on them early, and then it just really settled down. And when you see that, that's D-line play. You know, both interiorly and outside. I like the way our safeties are supporting the run as well. You know, they're coming down and stopping the run within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. That tells you a lot. You know, that tells you that they understand what they're doing. You know, they're diagnosing the play very quickly. The instincts are there. Like I said, we are a very physical group, and I'm including that DB group as well. They come down and they try to hit backs. You know, one of our running backs, Antoine Littleton's a 240-pound back that could really run. You know, and he's been running their asses over. Excuse me. He's been running their tails over all spring long, right? You know, but they came down today, and it wasn't that much of that kind of stuff showing up. You know, it seems like our backs were getting hit backwards from time to time, and that's always a good indication of, you know, guys, again, cutting it loose. And you can't cut it loose until you know and you have complete confidence in what you're doing within your job description.
You mentioned the D-line stopping the run. How much of that is the new scheme as well?
You know, I just think it's the you know, scheme is one thing. Let's make it clear. You know, I love scheme. You know, I love writing circles and X's on the wall and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's the players, right? And if they're buying in to what you're teaching them, the scheme's going to work. You know, if you got the right talent and they're buying into coaching, they're preparing the right way, then the scheme's going to work, right? And so I think that's what you got right now. Again, you just got some intentional guys that you guys, I can't wait for you guys to get to know them. You know, there are a lot of new faces for you all, you know, that you got to get to know. And I think when you have that opportunity to talk to them, you'll understand the chip on their shoulder that they have in their approach to being here as a Temple Owl. And a lot of them are very, very grateful, coming from different programs, coming from junior colleges, coming through by way of the portal, and having an opportunity here at Temple. They're not taking that for granted, you know. And the fact that they understand and embrace competition within their unit groups, they know everything is graded, you know. So it's a very evaluation-friendly program, and they don't have time to take time. They don't have time to take time off, you know, not even a little bit. You know, so I think that's what you're seeing within their effort. So yeah, scheme is good. It fits who we have out there, but they've bought into the scheme.
And a couple weeks ago, Chris Woods was sort of willing to say, you know, Taekwon King has really put himself pretty high. I don't know, Santiago Stewart, some of those other guys approaching him, or are they?
Santiago is a player that should be special around here. There's no question. Taekwon King is a very physical football player. He loves the game, very instinctive. And Santiago's still growing up, still maturing, you know, but when you look at 6'2" frame, you know, a guy that can run around, that's starting to cut it loose a little bit, you know, you can see some special qualities in that young man, you know. So I expect him to have a really good season for us. You know, I think the offseason needs to happen for him in terms of giving him another opportunity to grow, give him another opportunity to get in that weight room and get a little stronger, give him another opportunity to really hone into his job description within the scheme. And once he can completely claims and owns those things, we'll see a really good football player in Anton Santiago.
With the spring wrapping up, what's kind of the goals and mindset for the team as it goes into summer?
Yeah, we need to pull together. You know, I think this is a great opportunity for us to really put our larger purpose in place. All right, our team goal is to win American Conference. You guys have heard me say that from day one. That's never going to change. All right, but it's not the only goal. There's a set of goals that need to take place before we can sit there and say, hey, you know, we're ready to compete for an American championship. And one of those goals is to define our larger purpose. All right, we need to come together as a football team. And again, these guys are coming from all different places. They're getting to know each other right now. Are they willing to cut it loose for each other? I don't know if they're there yet. You know, I don't think they know the man to their right, his purpose for being here, his why. You know, the man to the left, why are you here? What are you doing this for? What is your love for the game? You know, what makes you go? And I think once that we hone in on that piece of it in this third quarter of our development, it's all about family. Once we get a great feel for each other that way, then I think we'll start to cut it loose for each other. But we need to come up with a larger purpose. Right now, you know, as individuals, we'll only take ourselves to a certain distance, right? To a certain place. We'll go to a certain threshold, okay? And once we get to that threshold, if we feel like we're losing breath or our life is in jeopardy, guess what we're gonna do to ourselves? We're gonna back off, all right? Well, if you have a teammate that's sitting next to you that you're doing it for, that's gonna take you past your threshold, all right? And we get the whole entire team thinking and believing that, then you'll see an effort, you'll see a will in a football team that will be tough to beat, okay? And that's the goal of this third quarter, is to make sure that we hone into those things so they understand the real purpose of what we're doing and why we're here, and really come up with a plan of how we can go about making our journey toward a championship a reality.
Following up on that, do you have like any like team like trips planned out to do to kind of like have the guys get together?
Yeah. So we you know, we're gonna give them some time off. You know, team trips. Now we have a lot of team activities that we're thinking about. We just gotta make it a reality. They don't know about it, so I won't say it out loud right now, because there's gonna be a couple things that are gonna shock them. You know, that we're gonna do. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of things that we do just on a simple level. Like, it's okay to go into the Owl's Nest and turn the game on and eat some pizza and get a little ping pong tournament together, play a little pool, and really get to know each other a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna do some team bonding things to try to pull this team together. We'll be real creative in that respect, but I wanna hear what the players are gonna come up with themselves. I mean, we can sit there and be creative all we want, but when the players take ownership of wanting to get to know each other and come up with ideas, I would love to give them an opportunity to come up with some ideas and see if they can put something in place.
Then Reese Clark had the touchdown today, had another big play. Is he coming along in that way?
He's doing great. He's doing great. He's grown up. He knows the offense. He's no longer acting and playing like a freshman. And you see it in every phase of his life. You know, there was a lot of changing that had to take place for Reese Clark. And, in my 2 years with him, he's done nothing but, humble himself and dive into the preparation and try to make himself a better person, a better football player. And I think that's what you're starting to see out there. That's a result of him putting in work. We see it in practice all the time. And this is something that we expect of Reese Clark, but the idea is to get consistent in doing it all the time, and that takes time.
EJ mentioned earlier that a lot of the focus for the O-line has been communication. Have you seen them, get better at that over the spring? And
Absolutely.
How would you evaluate that unit?
It's been good. That unit has improved a lot. Again, what we've done a great job is making sure that we can get guys that can bend and, that are strong, with some of the guys that we brought in by way of the portal or junior college. Those guys have an edge on them, you know what I mean? That has been the challenge, is the communication piece, right? And it's only because the language is new for them, you know what I mean? But that's a tight-knit group. They're falling in line great. There's some guys that we know can play that were not able to play coming off of some postseason injuries and things of that sort that we're expecting to come in and shake the room up a little bit, but they've embraced competition like everybody else on this football team. So excited to see that group. Excited.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
That's good. All right.
Thanks,
You got it.